After all that work of finally getting married and having that wedding, hearing that your husband kicked the can before you guys could even start a family is too bad. I don't think there could be any marriage more worthless than this.
What? Mom, why would you ever say something like that to me? How can you say something so heartless as that to your own daughter? Unbelievable.
Look, I only say that because the man who went and took my ugly daughter like that was really appreciated by me. Compared to your older sister, you are like a man born into a woman's body. That's just how ugly you really are. And seeing that you had finally found someone who had wanted to marry you made me feel a small sense of hope for you. Yet now you've been met with a dead husband, right? This is what happens when you mess with your fate. Maybe your father was right, saying you were better off gambling with having a life lived forever alone than going out and being with a man.
Honestly, I don't really care that you're picking on me right now because that's become the norm for me. But you don't have to say things like that about me on a day like today, for crying out loud. I can't even fathom what my future is going to be like now, after my husband left before me. Because of this, everyone that's here today is also heartbroken and sorry. Did you not see all of the people who are crying today while the funeral was in session?
Sure, I saw all of that. And you were bawling your eyes out as well. For an adult, you sure do cry like a baby would. I would love to cry now, too. I was so close to seeing what kind of a grandbaby you and your husband could make for me. Not leaving behind a single kid before dying like that. Oh, how dare he? Well, it's not like a child born from an ugly mother like yourself would have been able to look any better. So one could say I never had high hopes for them as my grandbaby anyway, all right?
Do you have any idea what the hell you're saying to me right now? Sure, I thought of you as a heartless human being in the past, but seeing how far you're taking things now, I'm in complete shock.
What are you going on about right now? The only problem that you have with me is that you're ugly and I'm not, right? I wish you had turned out a lot more like your beautiful older sister did, and you wish the same thing, don't you? I mean, you can see that I take very good care of her, right?
Your daughters are not supposed to be treated like things, though. How dare you speak of us like that? Are you saying that you've never cared for me because you don't see me as beautiful?
That's what I'm trying to say. You're just too ugly for me to want to be around. If you were like a piece of pottery, I would feel awful for whoever's horrible hands had to mold you. That's why I was really hoping you'd become a wife and get the heck out of my life for good now, you know? That's all.
For having always treated me like your servant all these years, how could you want me gone when you would just love to keep me around for the rest of your life doing all of the chores?
I would like for that. But I'd rather have you out of the house for good than use you as my maid. And the only reason I was ever doing that to you in the first place is because your older sister is too pretty to be doing chores. As an ugly woman, you're no use unless you can do all of the chores and cooking to perfection. Aren't you aware that that's the only decent thing about you?
How could you? Well, I knew all of this was going to be coming out of your mouth at some point. But to hear you saying it on the day of my husband's funeral, I never thought this could happen to me.
Because you were sitting over there acting all important, crying the loudest out of everyone else. I thought it was time for me to tell you that this family isn't as soft as you might think. I'm telling you right now, no matter how sad you are, I will not let you have a break. Now you can forget about ever coming back to my family after that childish act you had today.
What the hell do you mean?
If your husband is going to die like that right after you both got married, then you're nothing more than a stranger to us now. Don't you ever come back to my house. You go and live with your husband's poor family from now on.
What? Are you sure that's okay with you? Wait, then you're okay with me keeping his last name and everything?
Well, of course I'm okay with that. You're just a stranger to me. And no matter what happens to you from now on, you can't come back to us for help. Even if you go starving, that has nothing to do with us. You go out and find your own work now, and find another man if you please. It means nothing to me.
Thank you so much, Mom. All right, that's just what I'm going to do.
What? What the heck? Why do you seem all happy about this? Now is not the time for you to act tough about this. I already know that there is not another man or family on this planet that would want someone so brainless, someone so ugly, and someone so unskilled as you. So don't you be getting carried away faking that happiness now.
Don't worry about me. I will finally be able to go out and focus on all the things I've been wanting to do. So I won't ever bother you guys ever again. Goodbye forever now.
Frey, are you feeling all right? I know when I left the house and you earlier, you weren't really wanting to eat anything, but is there anything that you feel like you can eat today? If there's anything you'd like me to pick up for you to eat while I'm out, don't be afraid to ask me, okay? Yogurt, ice cream, pizza, eggs, anything is all right.
Mother? Thank you so much for asking me about how I'm doing. This morning was pretty tough for me, but right now I'm feeling a lot better and think I'll be good for the rest of the night.
Things like morning sickness have been around forever in women. I can even remember how hard it was for me to be morning sick while carrying my son, so I'm sure the same can be said for you. Well, don't worry, because you can rely on us whenever you need. I know that I won't be able to really take away the sickness you'll be feeling a lot of the time, but I can be by your side to take care of and support you anytime.
I am so thankful for both the support you and Father give me. Even now, I'm feeling so much stronger than I was weeks ago. And I can finally think about things like I'm not alone.
What are you saying, Frey? You were never alone, and we will make sure that you never feel that way again. Remember, my husband and I are your family now, so you can ask us for anything and everything anytime you want. But of course, having some time to yourself is always an important thing, so please don't worry about telling us to leave you alone and get the kind of refreshment you may need. We will support you with things like money and such, so take a weekend to go on vacation if you have to. Well, maybe wait until after you get over your bout of morning sickness.
Just hearing you say all those things to me means a lot. Thank you so much again. Realizing just how warm and loving of a place your family really is has left me feeling so thankful towards you both. Having lost your son must have been such a painful time for the both of you, like it was and still is for me. Yet you both have been focusing on so much on me, with all the love that you gave to him.
What are you talking about? You're the very special person that our son chose to make part of this family. However, our son lost a lot of the time he was supposed to have loving and making a large family with you. I'm pretty sure that's left you in even more pain than the both of us. My husband and I both regret not being there to protect the both of you like we should have at the time. And that is exactly why, at this moment, we would both like to do everything we can for you. That is what my husband and I want to do.
Thank you so very much. Hearing you say all of that about us, it makes me so happy. And this small life that your son has left behind with me, I promise to do everything I can to take care of it.
Yes, please, do that for everyone. To my husband and I, that is our precious son's baby. And we will be helping you raise it whenever you need us around. Of course, you are its mother, even if it's going to become our grandbaby. So you can do whatever you'd like with them to turn them into the human you'd like them to become. We will do whatever it takes to support you both. You don't have to worry about anything anymore because we're both here for you guys.
Mother, after all you said, all the worries I had before have just left me. You know just as well as I do how hard it has been to go through the loss of my husband and everything. And that with things like the baby and my morning sickness from them, my life has really been a nonstop battle. So it does really help me a lot to hear that you'll be supporting this baby and I from now on. But are you sure you'll be able to do everything for me?
I can understand you doubting us some, but you don't have to worry about it. It's one thing to say I'd do everything for a stranger, but when it's for my own family, I mean it dearly. As long as we're with one another, support one another, and love one another, we will be okay. And even if you are still new to this family, that doesn't matter to my husband and I. So I believe that hearing all of this from me will really help you relax, and I hope it doesn't bring you any further worry.
Family. It's supposed to feel warm, right? Family. And that's why your son was such a warm and loving man to me. For some reason, because of him, I've finally been able to find out what a family really is.
Frey, it seems that you had a really hard time with your own family, right? And now it seems you're no longer connected to any of them. But I don't think you need to be sad about that, all right? Because you now have yourself a brand new family that loves you. From now on, I promise that we'll help make you happy.
Thank you so much for taking me into your family like this. I'm sure that when my baby arrives, they are going to require a lot of our time. But please, help me out with whatever challenges we have.
Where the heck are you right now? Do you think you can come out and help your mom and us out?
What are you talking about? I thought that we cut ties to one another already. So asking me to come and help you now? What makes you think you can decide what the rules of cutting ties are? I'm not going to help any of you, so please stop talking to me forever now.
What the heck do you think you're saying to your own mother right now? At this point in time, we're really struggling over here. You're all on your own now and don't have to use that much money on yourself. So the only one who can actually help us right now is you.
So you need my help with money now, right? Well, I already told you no. Also, if you're going to ask me for money right now, I say hell no to that. I really won't be helping any one of you anymore, so leave me be.
Listen to me. I didn't think that something like this would ever happen in the first place. Your father has gotten himself into $8 million worth of debt.
I knew that was going to happen. I kind of figured that would be the amount of money he'd borrow.
What? How come you say that? Did you know about this?
Well, it was just a small hunch that I had. But that has nothing to do with me at all, especially now. And since you said you cut ties to me, I feel like I got off all right. I never said anything about my hunch there, but I guess not even your own husband did either.
Huh? So you all were his accomplice in this?
Before you start saying complete nonsense now, how about you think of what the word accomplice is meant to be used for? I just knew about the kind of unfortunate soul he was is all. He would always believe in the most crazy of stories instantly. And even before I started to have that small hunch, he was taking a lot of money and going out to spend it on slots and would come home in the middle of the night broke, right? And that's why I never really had any hope for him from the start. Well, with some luck, he was at least able to buy himself the house. And that was enough to make you happy since you're so shallow, and then you never suspected a thing out of him again. I thought that was a pretty good thing for the both of you for a long time.
What are you going on about? I never heard anything about all that stuff.
Well then, that means there's always been something wrong with the both of you as a married couple then. Now, you go and ask him why things are the way they are now, because I have nothing to do with you all anymore.
For the time being, just get your ass back to this house. And you start working for the sake of this family right now.
This family? Don't start making me chuckle there. I have never thought of you guys as my family anymore, and I won't sacrifice my own time working for you all either. Actually, how about you ask your daughter to handle everything for you guys? Your favorite little beautiful daughter, right? You never once cared about me before, so why are you complaining about wanting me back now?
That's because you are a lot more serious when it comes to working than she is. And, well, she ended up finding a serious man and has left this house now. I felt at first that he wasn't going to be a good husband for her, and so I told her that she couldn't marry him. And when I told her that, she ran away from the house, and I haven't been able to get a word out of her since. I have no idea where she's even at right now.
To be frank, all I can think about this right now is that it sucks to be you. Now you're starting to see that this is the type of family you let yourself make. I only ever knew about that fake family you had put together, so there wasn't much doubt coming from me about it. But after getting married and becoming a part of my husband's family, I've realized a lot of terrible things about you all. Where I had been living for the past 2.5 decades was not a family filled with love. It was just a family that would only care for those that had the most value to their name. Like everyone in it was an item to its owner.
So, have you gotten along well with your in-laws, have you? If that's the case, then could you ask them to lend us a bit of money for the time being? If you let them know that your parents are in a bit of a pinch at the moment, I'm sure they can fork some cash over.
Would you go screw off or something?
What?
Have you even been listening to anything I just said? And you thinking it's okay to cause my husband's family a bunch of trouble now because of your problems? You are so embarrassing that I don't even want to talk with you anymore. The fact that I had to have you all for parents makes me feel like a lost cause.
You're saying all of that even though your father and I did so much in order to raise you into the adult you are now? Are you trying to say that you're not thankful for any of that?
Up until I got married, I was giving you and your husband money the whole time, right? And from elementary school all the way until the end of high school, I was having to do all of the cleaning in the house, right? Don't you freaking dare tell me that I have to repay you still for what you guys did for me.
I had to go through hell carrying you in my womb before giving birth to you. Are you still going to tell me that you're not thankful for that?
If you're going to patronize me that much for everything in the past, then maybe you should have tried a bit harder to make me feel like I should be thanking you. You're the one who told me I was out of your family, right?
Frey, so you're really going to go through with saying that to me? Then you'd better remember this one thing, please. Currently, you're being cared for by your in-laws, right? If that's the way you're going to talk to me now, then I'm going to make you regret it all.
What the hell are you even saying? I'm telling you right now, don't do anything strange or stupid. Now you've really gone and done it, haven't you? How dare you light my in-laws' freaking house on fire like that? I hope your ass doesn't even get the chance to plead insane when you're taken to court.
What are you talking about, Frey? I never did anything at all to your in-laws' house. Are you trying to say that I've gone and committed some form of arson?
There's no use in trying to play dumb this time. We have you clear as day on the security cameras committing the crime.
What? Security cameras? There were security cameras on a house as simple as that one?
You call it simple? This house is 5 times bigger than the one you are all living in. Now you tell me what the hell you were trying to achieve with that.
What I was trying to achieve? Well, since I've already been found out, there's no point in keeping this a secret. I was trying to cook the three of you up inside that house. And even if I hadn't killed you all, the only option you would have had after losing the house was coming to rely on me, right? However, we happen to be in a lot of debt here now. So if you were going to be relying on us for help, we'd have to rely on you all for help as well.
So you really are insane. Who the hell would come to you for help after burning their whole house down?
Well, I suppose that wasn't the best choice in order to get what I wanted. And honestly, I never thought you'd all figure me out so easily. But hey, I was still able to destroy a portion of the house, right? While that's all being repaired, I'll allow the three of you to come and live here. But of course, you're going to have to help us pay off all this debt.
Honest to God, are you even listening to what the hell I'm saying right now? You're not going to be helped if you're trying to kill us in that house fire. And now you're going to be sent in even more debt after pulling such an idiotic stunt as that one.
Really? Then what are you three going to do now? Is there anywhere else for you all to live at this moment? And starting soon, there's going to be a bad storm that will last for 4 days. A lot of the roof was lost in that fire, so it's going to be quite a pain having to stay there in the rain and thunder, right?
Listen here, you bitch. That fire went and burned through a lot more of it than you think, and we can't live in it at all now. And that is going to make the news pretty soon here.
What? I was really able to burn down that much of the house?
Had we not been able to have realized the place was on fire as soon as we did, or had one of us been sleeping, you would really have hell to pay. Did you not freaking realize that what you were doing was freaking stupid before you threw that first Molotov through the window?
Well, too late for you to be telling me that now. Well, I wouldn't have minded 1 or 3 of you dying in the fire. At least for now, none of you were inside to die, right? Now, since you seem to not be as fazed by the fire as you seem to want me to believe, that must mean that not as much of the house burnt down after all.
Go and freaking screw yourself right now, you old hag. Don't think that what you've done is going to get you anywhere close to your goal soon.
What the hell? Who do you think you are, still talking to your mother like that? As my child, your one and only job is to listen to whatever the hell I tell you. I guess your father and I spoiled you a bit too much now. Just shut your damn mouth now and get your ass home. And the reason all of that had to happen to your in-laws' place is because of you. Had you just listened to me the first time and come home, they wouldn't have had to lose it.
I'm telling you to stop blaming other people for your own freaking problems right now. My God, it's like having to talk to a vegetable right now. Nothing I ever say seems to mean anything to you at all, and you just keep moving around with no aim. You want to know why the hell nobody cares about you guys? Because ever since your children were young, you treated them like items and nothing more than that. So now, when you both are in trouble and could really use a family that loves and cares for you, you're fresh out of luck because you never bothered to nurture such a family. But you can accept that you're to blame for every single bit of what's happened to you guys, and now you're taking it out on people who have nothing to do with you. What the hell is actually wrong with you? Both of my in-laws have done so much for me in such a short period of time, more than any of you ever did for me. I can't even begin to think about forgiving you now after you both got them involved in your goddamn irrational nonsense.
The reason they both had to suffer is because of you, right? This has all happened because you never came home to help your parents when they asked for your help. So this is all on you.
I'm going to make sure both you and your husband are made to regret everything you've ever done. I've already gone and shown the police and the fire chief the footage of you that was on the security cameras. Really soon, here the both of you will be arrested. I hope you're ready to serve the rest of your lives in prison.
What? The police? What kind of bullcrap are you going on about now? We are your actual parents, right? It only makes sense for a child to be punished for going against their parents like you had.
You cut that bullshit out right now. I am not your toy anymore. I will not allow either one of you to cause any more lives to be ruined because of the kind of shit you both love to dish out. Also, I'm going to be having a baby really soon since I'm pregnant now. So in order to protect my husband's and my child from you both, I'll go to the ends of the earth making sure you can't get to us.
Wait, what? What are you talking about? You're pregnant with your dead husband's kid? Are you saying that we have a grandchild now? Hold your horses, I never knew that. I never thought there'd be something for us to celebrate now. You should have told us that sooner. Well, this is a more important time than any to have your parents there to help you out, right? I will apologize to you for what all has happened, as long as we can get back together, all right?
You're finished. Now that you've burned down this family's house, we're leaving town, and you won't ever be able to find where we move off to. Now get your ass ready to sit the rest of your meaningless lives in a prison cell and pray to God that you pass away soon like my husband did. After that, both of my parents were welcomed to the sounds of police sirens approaching their house from all directions, as at least 5 cars were heading in to encircle them. By that point, neither of them had much to lose, but at the same time, that only made them more dangerous, and so my mom ran to the basement to try to get to the gun safe. But as soon as she got her hands in the lock and was going to get it open, the police told her husband to open up the door, which of course he didn't listen to, prompting them to break it down and tackle him. And just as my mom got the gun safe open and was reaching into it, an officer at the top of the stairs tasered her, and she dropped like a wasp hit with a wasp spray. The both of them would be handcuffed and placed in the back of 2 different squad cars, and would be taken to 2 county jails where they would spend the rest of the night being questioned. Then the following day, my mom's crimes were all over the news, and my in-laws' house was torn down after we salvaged whatever else we could from inside. We managed to pack it all into the back of a small trailer, and that was attached to the back of my in-laws' truck, which they would be driving in. I was tasked with taking their smaller car to the dealership, where I'd sell it for whatever the price offered to me was, and then they'd pick me up before taking off. Myself and my baby, along with both of my in-laws, moved to the other side of the US, where we are now living in a brand new mansion, waiting for the day my baby is born. We all made sure that the house would be in really good location, with plenty of parks and playgrounds for the future, as well as a really good school system and a really good hospital. As far as both of my in-laws are concerned, I'm not going to have to find myself a job or anything either after my baby is born. And my father-in-law even said to me that he'd delay his retirement another year, all to make sure he had enough money to support me. Of course, I'm not going to make him have all that pressure placed on himself, and will pick up a part-time job at the very least later on, as that's the very least that I could do. Neither of my parents were able to pay my in-laws for their burnt-down house, but that wasn't a problem for them, just as long as my parents were sent to prison for life, for 4 cases technically of attempted murder on top of those arson charges. And now that they've been put away for life, we can all finally let out a sigh of relief and look forward to the warm family I'll be creating with the introduction of my in-laws' grandbaby.